The phone in your hand right now started as a wooden box with wires 145 years ago. And the man we credit with the telephone might not have been the real inventor? What if two men raced against time to change the world, just 2 hours apart? This story has genius, rivalry, drama, and a future even Alexander Graham Bell couldn't imagine. Ever wonder how we went from shouting across a room to talking to anyone, anywhere, with a tiny device in our pocket that does everything? Welcome back to Coco Network. We bring you captivating histories, incredible global explorations, and inspiring educational videos designed for every curious mind, young and old. Join us. Today we're diving into a mind-blowing journey. Imagine a world where if you wanted to talk to someone far away, you had to send a letter that took days or even weeks to arrive, or yell really, really loudly. Sounds crazy, right? But that was life before the telephone. And the story of how we got our first telephone is full of twists, turns, and even a little bit of a race. So who invented the telephone? Most people instantly say Alexander Graham Bell, and yes, he did get the first patent for the telephone. But here's a secret that many don't know. There was another brilliant inventor working on almost the exact same thing at the exact same time. His name was Elisha Gray. Can you imagine working for years on an amazing invention, only for someone else to file their paperwork just a few hours before you? That's almost what happened. It was a true race to the patent office. So what exactly did each of them come up with? And how close was Elisha Gray to changing history as the inventor of the telephone? Let's start with the man often credited, Alexander Graham Bell. Born in Scotland in 1847, Bell was surrounded by sound. His mother and wife were both deaf, which sparked his deep interest in how sound works and how we communicate. He was a teacher of the deaf, trying to find ways to help people hear and speak. Bell wasn't just thinking about hearing aids. He was fascinated by the telegraph, which could send written messages over long distances using electrical signals. But what if you could send voices? Real human voices, with all their feelings and tones through a wire. That was his big dream. He spent years experimenting in his lab, often with his trusty assistant, Thomas Watson. They worked tirelessly trying different wires, different ways to make sound vibrate and travel. It wasn't easy. There were many failures, many late nights. And then on March 10, 1876, it happened. Bell was working in one room and Watson was in another. In a moment of panic, called out the famous words, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." And guess what? Watson heard him, not through the air, but through the wires of their invention. It was the first successful voice transmission over a telephone, a truly groundbreaking moment. Alexander Graham Bell's lawyer. He filed Bell's full patent application for the telephone just a few hours before Gray's caveat. Imagine the feeling. So close, yet so far. 6 seasons. There were many legal battles after this, trying to figure out who was truly first. In the end, Bell's patent was upheld. But it shows just how much brilliant minds can think alike, and how sometimes timing is everything. So, the telephone was born. The first phones were nothing like the ones we have today. In fact, they were, how did we get from these giant wire-connected boxes to the incredibly powerful mini-computers we carry in our pockets today? Get ready for some amazing leaps in technology. After Bell's invention, phones slowly started to become more common, but they still needed wires connecting them to switchboards, operated by people who would connect your call manually. You'd pick up the phone, tell the operator who you wanted to talk to, and they'd physically plug you in. Over time, phones became easier to use. Rotary dials came along, letting you dial numbers yourself. Then came push buttons. The phones got smaller, more stylish, but they were still stuck to the wall. You couldn't take your phone for a walk. The real game changer was the idea of wireless communication. Imagine making a call without being plugged into a wall. This dream slowly became a reality. In the 1940s, early mobile phone systems started to appear, mostly in cars, used by emergency services, or very important people. They were huge, heavy, and very expensive. Fast forward to the 1970s. This is when the first true portable cell phone appeared. In 1973, a man named Martin Cooper, an engineer at Motorola, made the very first public cell phone call. He called a rival engineer at Bell Labs just to show off. Martin Cooper holding the first brick phone. This first cell phone was famously called the Brick. It weighed over 2 pounds, was about 10 inches long, and you could only talk for about 30 minutes before the battery died. And it took 10 hours to charge, not exactly pocket-friendly, but it was a start. From there, cell phones started a slow but steady journey of getting smaller, lighter, and more powerful. Companies competed to make the coolest new phone. Remember flip phones? Or phones with antennas you had to pull out? Those were revolutionary at the time. Now think about your smartphone today. It's not just a phone, is it? It's a camera, a video player, a game console, a map, a library, a shopping mall, and your connection to the entire world. It's a tiny supercomputer in your hand. But how did we jump from sending simple text messages to streaming HD videos and playing amazing games? This next part will blow your mind. Deflate word, smartphone, wasn't even a thing until the early 1990s, when IBM released something called the Simon Personal Communicator. It had a touchscreen, could send emails and faxes, and even had a calendar and address book. But it was still big and expensive, and didn't really catch on with everyone. The true smartphone revolution really kicked off in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Companies like Nokia and BlackBerry started making phones that did more than just call and text. They had basic internet browse, email, and even simple apps. But the real turning point, the moment everything changed for most people, was in 2007 with the launch of the first iPhone. Dramatic reveal of the first iPhone, perhaps with a famous quote from Steve Jobs. The iPhone changed everything. It introduced a multi-touch screen, a simple and beautiful design, and most importantly, it showed the world what a phone could be. It wasn't just for calls. It was a powerful computer designed for everyone to use easily. Since then, smartphones have gotten even more amazing. Better cameras, faster internet, more powerful processors, and more apps than you can count. They've changed how we learn, how we work, how we play, and how we connect with each other. So from Bell's accidental acid spill and Elisha Gray's near miss, to the brick phone, and now to the supercomputers in our pockets, the journey of the telephone is truly incredible. It's a story of human curiosity, genius, and a constant drive to connect. What do you think the next big leap in phone technology will be? Will we have phones that project holograms? Or maybe phones that are part of our clothes? The possibilities are endless. The next time you pick up your smartphone, take a moment to think about the long, fascinating history behind it. From a simple Mr. Watson, come here, to connecting billions of people worldwide, it's a true testament to human innovation. What do you think the phone will look like in 2050? Tell us in the comments, and what is your favorite cell phone? And in the future, I'm eyeing the Apple iPhone 17 Pro Max from your love. Thanks for watching Coco Network, where history comes alive and learning is always fun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a story that could blow your mind.